Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another video for you today. This is going to be a product review from a company called Loksak. So before I get into the actual product review, how I came to know about this product. So I was reading an article on Soldier Systems Net and read it, looked at the product, and thought, cool, this is something I've been looking for. If you have not been to Soldier Systems Net, I recommend it. It is a website that has articles on all kinds of defense and security related type of things. Anything from some new footwear like boots that have come out, new uniforms, belts, gear, safety glasses, hats, helmets, ammunition, guns, accessories for guns like sights and slings, and then all the way to new vehicles coming out, fighter aircraft, all kinds of stuff that is all defense and security related. Lots of cool articles on there on new things coming out, etc. So highly recommend going and checking out that website. But anyway, read that article, saw the product, and thought, cool, that's something I've been looking for. Why have I been looking for something like this? And the short answer is to keep things dry, right? As a waterproof bag that keeps things from getting wet. And so you may think, well, that's pretty obvious, man. Like, duh. Specifically, the things I'm wanting to keep dry are phones and guns. So a phone has become obviously an everyday life kind of thing. You're always going to have it on you. And if you are a practitioner of self-defense, you're going to be carrying a gun on you every single day as well. And so when you think about EDC, the most every day of your life is in mostly dry environments. And when it becomes wet, it's usually from rain or snow or something like that. Until you get into aquatic environments like pools and oceans. And then things change. Your EDC no longer becomes true EDC. You don't carry that stuff with you when you jump into the pool. You don't carry that stuff with you when you jump into the ocean. Most people don't. Like 99, of course, there's no data out there to back up these numbers. I'm just pulling these numbers on my butt. But I'm just going to say that probably 99.9% of the people out there do not jump into a pool with their phone in their pocket. On purpose, at least. 99.9% of people out there do not jump into a pool with their gun still on them, or go swimming in the ocean with their gun still on them. They take that stuff off and they put it somewhere where it's going to stay dry. Well, from a self-defense standpoint, you now make yourself more vulnerable when you do not have your tools on you. If you are in the pool or you're in the ocean and you're not armed and an emergency occurs, you're now just like everyone else. You're defenseless. So, going into aquatic environments, I want to still be able to have self-defense with me. To always be ready, right? Not to always be ready only when I'm dry. So the options that have been out there for keeping things dry have been dry bags and dry boxes. So a dry box would be something like a Pelican case, some type of hard-sided box with a seal on it that will keep water out. And then a dry bag. A dry bag is just a bag that you put stuff into, and then the top of it, you kind of roll it down, and then these two clips on the sides of it, you just bring it around, clip them together, and it keeps it in that roll down fashion, and no water gets in. Well, those products, the dry bags at least, are used for a lot of water recreationists, from scuba divers to kayakers, etc. The boxes more so for people with boats and or kayaks. They'll have a dry box where they put that stuff in to keep it from getting wet. For a concealed carry standpoint, obviously, wearing a box on you is not going to work. A dry bag, maybe you could do it, but that makes it then an off-body carry technique, and I'm not a big fan of off-body carry. And real quick, on-body carry is where the gun is on you, like in a pocket, on a belt, something like that. Off-body means that it's in a bag, it's in a coat pocket, and those things can come off of you with some kind of frequency or possibility, and it's not always going to be on you. It could be on you for a temporary amount of time and then come right off. And so the problem with off-body carry is you can become easily separated from it and not be able to get to it in time, or it could be stolen from you, and then now you have armed a criminal. So wearing a dry bag is not a very viable option. And so when you think about going to the pool or to the beach, even if you bring that with you and you keep it on the beach or you keep it on the poolside, again, those risks run into play of someone stealing it, and now you've armed a criminal, or you're just nowhere near it, right? Like you're in the water and the box or the bag is up on the beach somewhere, or you're at the pool and you've gone to the bathroom or to the concession stand or whatever, and that thing is super far away and you cannot get to it in time. So the off-body carry is not a big plus to me. I just don't like it. So how else can you bring your defensive tool with you to an aquatic environment? And it's challenging. It is. And so that is why that number I just pulled out of air, that's why I've signed it a 99.9% probability or a statistical number, because it's very difficult to bring a gun with you to an aquatic environment because there's some logistics involved with it. So if people are bringing guns with them to aquatic environments, they are doing off-body carry. They're leaving it in a bag somewhere, and they're leaving it on the beach. They're leaving it by the pool. On-body carry, that's where that number comes from. 99.9% of people are not doing on-body carry in aquatic environments. And I used to be the 99.9%. I used to, just say, hey, the gun can't go with me in the pool. It can't go with me in the ocean, so it's going somewhere else. It's not going to be on me. Well, I recognize that as a weak point, a vulnerability. So I, a few years back, started doing on-body carry into the water. Basically, what I would do is just take my Glock 26, throw it in a fanny pack, and go jump in the water. So I've been to water parks. I've been up to crap, I forgot the name of that place. Santa Claus, Indiana. I cannot remember the name of that place. But anyway, it's in Santa Claus, Indiana. The whole town is like Christmas themed or whatever, and there's an amusement park up there. Holiday World. Is that it? Holiday World? Yeah. So they have a water park up there. And, of course, I've taken it up there. I've taken it to some other water parks before. I've gone to the ocean, down to Florida, and gone to some beaches with it. And I just throw it in the fanny pack and I go in the water. So that solves the problem of on-body versus off-body carry and always having a gun on you. However, it creates a bit of another problem. And the other problem is the logistics of maintaining that gun and keeping it in a good fighting condition after you've submerged it in water. With pool water, fresh water, the rusting issue is not so bad within a few hours. But salt water can cause rusting within just hours of submersion. And so after being submerged, by the end of the day, you need to be cleaning that gun just to keep it from having spot rust on there. And so the logistical issue is, one, you're having to bring a cleaning kit with you to your vacation spot, and you're having to dedicate some time to clean that gun for preventative maintenance purposes. And the ammunition, you have to bring more ammunition with you, because the ammunition that became submerged, you do not want to trust your life to it after it's been submerged. Will a gun shoot underwater? Yes, absolutely. I've shot my Glock underwater before. There's plenty of videos of people shooting guns underwater. The guns will work underwater. They'll work when they're wet. The ammunition will work underwater. Defensive ammunition, the primers are sealed. It's good ammo, right? Like, water most likely is not going to be getting in there. However, you do not want to rely upon that for days, weeks, even a year after it being submerged underwater. You just don't want to take that chance, right? Murphy's Law. So the ammunition that got submerged on day one on vacation needs to be switched out. So now you're having to bring extra ammo with you. Well, for a 1 day submersion into the water, that's not so bad. But what if your vacation is multiple days, right? You know, day one's you're at a hotel and you got the pool, and day two you've gone to the beach, day three you're at the beach, day four you're going to the amusement park and there's water slides and stuff like that. Well, that's a lot of ammo to be bringing, and that's a lot of cleaning going on. So the days, for me, the days of just throwing the Glock in the fanny pack and letting it get submerged and then dealing with the annoyance of cleaning it and switching out ammo are gone, because I have little kids now, and I don't want to be spending time cleaning the gun when I could be spending time with them, and also don't want to be spending the money on ammo when I could be spending the money on them. So I want the ability to keep the gun completely dry. So unfortunately, I've not found any fanny packs out there that are completely waterproof. There are some water-resistant fanny packs out there that are only good when you get splashed with water. The minute you submerge it, it fills, right? And so that's not a viable option for me. Dry bags, again, that's not a viable option because that becomes an off-body carry. And so some type of bag to put it in is now the option. Once I tried using like regular Ziploc bags, it don't work. It's not a very good option. So when I read this article about this company, Loksak, I thought, cool, that is something that I have been looking for and will allow me to keep a gun in a fanny pack and be able to keep it completely dry. So, Loksak. So when you go to their website, this is the first thing you'll see is choosing which side you want to go into. The military, government, law enforcement side is only if you're going to be buying these things in bulk, right? When I mean bulk, I mean like you're buying boxes of these things, not you're buying 10 of them, okay? So when you go to the military, government, law enforcement side, it's a sign-in. Basically, you're going to get a username and a password and be able to do orders from. They have the NSN numbers on there as well, so if you just go search for the website, you'll find the NSN numbers and be able to get that in and get exactly what you need. So unless you're buying a bunch of this stuff, you're not going to be going to the military, government, law enforcement side. If you're buying, just a few of these, you're going to be going to the civilian site. So click on civilian site, and it brings you to the website with a bunch of information. So at the top here, go through the products, go straight to shopping, go to the about, testimonials, blog, news events, locations, and then contact. And then, of course, they got their social media stuff up here. it is a family business, which is pretty cool. Um, it's not like some big corporation with president and like a bunch of vice presidents and all these different managers and yada yada yada. It's a small family-owned business that has some pretty fast communication. So like when I ordered this stuff, within minutes after ordering it, someone from this company contacted me by email and said, "Hey, I saw that you ordered this, and I saw your company name, Primordial Defense. Did a quick search on you, found your site, read about you, and I see that you do firearms training, and was asking if I was going to somehow use this in firearms training." And so I thought, that's pretty cool, right? Like, of all the stuff I've bought before, like none of these companies have ever sent me an email asking me, "Hey, cool, how you going to use our product?" So replied back to them, told them, "Hey, I'm looking for something to keep my gun dry when I go swimming in the ocean or whatever." And they said, keep in touch, let us know how it goes. And then I think they even talked about, sending me some other stuff to do reviews on. But I have not received anything from them for free yet to do reviews on or anything like that. What I've gotten from them is what I've paid for. But anyway, going down into the products. So they've got 3 different bags. And so the first one, I guess, is their flagship bag. What they first came out with is the element proof bag. This is going to be the waterproof bag. The OpSac is going to be odor proof bags. The shield sac is a radio frequency blocking bag. And then subsac is just it's like a nylon bag that you would put one of these other bags into. It's supposed to be a splash proof bag, I guess. But once you submerge it, the stuff inside is going to get wet. So you need to put one of the waterproof bags inside of it. And then they get the link going back to their military stuff. So, where was the thing I went to? Well, let's click on this. So let's click on the element proof bags here. And here it is, catalog. So I'll click on the catalog, and this will have more information on it. But lots of good visuals here on how people use these things, which, keeping precious metals and stuff like that in there. I didn't think about that, other than, of course, a gun or whatever. But like your sentimental stuff, you got like your parents after they've passed away, you still got their wedding rings or something, or you got like mom's jewelry or something. That's something you can put this stuff into, keep it in the safe, and it's going to keep it from tarnishing. People using this stuff for freezer stuff, keeping freezer burns off of it, stuff like that. Cool. The waterproof bags, of course, keeping things dry, right? So phones, passports, stuff like that, maps, and they come in different sizes, and I'll talk about sizes here in a second. One of these products that they have that's meant for phones and passports come with these little pre-made holes in them so that you can put a lanyard around it. Pretty darn cool. They're waterproof to 200 feet. Like, that's pretty deep, right? Like, that is like pretty much reaching the limit of your basic open water diver certification, right? Once you start going past that point, you need to have some specialized training, maybe start getting into some different gases like nitrox or whatever. So 200 feet is a pretty good distance for a diver to be going down to, and that's a lot of pressure, even at 200 feet. So the fact that this bag can be waterproof down to 200 feet is pretty damn cool. So it is waterproof, not just water resistant. The different sizes that they have here. So they got everywhere from things that'll fit just a phone all the way to large bags that will fit a rifle, bags that are made to hold clothes and food and larger items. And then, like I said, going all the way down to small stuff like something like an iPhone 4, or even a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger for like a larger size phone, and then for like passport stuff like that. So lots of different sizing options right here to be able to choose from. Their OpSack bags are for odor containment. And so this is a pretty cool thing for camping, right? So one of the biggest issues for hiking is wildlife smelling your food and then coming after it. So you have to take your food, put it in a bag, tie a rope to it, throw the rope over a branch, hoist that thing up, and keep that food elevated off the ground so that bears and shit can't get a hold of it. This is pretty cool, so that you can keep food in there. It's going to keep it odor free, and less likely that bears and stuff are going to smell it and be attracted to you and come to it. They don't seem to have a whole lot of different sizes for them like the waterproof bags do. Looks like just 4 sizes there, but still pretty cool, right? The Subsack that I talked about, it's just a splash proof bag. Actually, I don't know if it's actually splash proof or not, but it's just it's a waist pack that comes with 2 of the waterproof bags inside of it. Again, it's not, the splash pack itself is not waterproof. It's just something for you to be able to put your waterproof bag into. The Shield Sack is for RFID blocking. It's like a Faraday kind of bag or whatever, keeps signals from getting into or coming out of it. So that's kind of a cool little thing. For people with emergency radio communications, this is something that you can store your radios in to keep them protected from EMP pulses. You can put credit cards and stuff like that in there when you're traveling, to keep people with little skimmers or whatever from coming up and reading your information, whatever. And then you'd have to go click on the military or law enforcement website, but and it might have been maybe an offshoot of the odor-proof bags, like hazmat stuff. But there's also some like evidence bag stuff that they had on there. But like I said, you have to go click on the law enforcement side to go look at all that stuff. But yeah, so pretty cool product, right? And the fact that it can be actually waterproof down to 200 feet, that makes it pretty darn cool. Trying to use a Ziploc bag for this does not work. There's other, so for example, this thing right here, the one that's made for the phone. So I have something that is similar to this. It's a waterproof bag and it has a lanyard on it, but the top up here is like this plastic clamping contraption where you take the bag itself, fold it over, put the plastic thing around it, and it clamps in place. And then when you unclamp it, the whole bag thing kind of comes undone, and then you bring the stuff out. Sure, it works great for making it waterproof, but it's an extra step in trying to get stuff out and in. With a bag like this, it is very similar to just a regular Ziploc bag. You just peel both ends apart, open it, put stuff in, and then to close it, you just press these together, run your fingers across it, and it is now sealed. So super easy to put stuff in and out and keep it exactly waterproof. So I went and bought a few of these, and I bought a like a sample pack, I guess is what it could be described as. It just came with a few different sizes on there, and there's 3 of them on there, so you can buy them like a little 3 variety pack or whatever. And I got those in, and I'm going to be trying those on vacation when I go to the beach and see how well this product does. So this was just an overview from their website, kind of showcasing everything on the products. Now I'll switch and go to the actual products itself and show you what they look like.
All right, so this is the package that I got from Lock. And this is how it came. Or I'm sorry, not Lock, Loksak. So I got the sample pack, I guess you could call it. There's multiple bags in here of different sizes. And this is how it will come packaged to you. Nothing else in there. So this is the largest bag, and you can see through it the Glock 26 for size comparison. So this looks to be probably a little bit bigger than a gallon Ziploc bag, I guess for size reference. This is the 11.75 by 12-inch bag. And then the next one is going to be this one. And this is the 8.625 by 5.25. Size comparison with the Glock 26. Here's another one. This is going to be the 4.125 inch by 7 inch. And then this one looks almost kind of like a standard Ziploc bag size that you would get for sandwiches. And this is the, well, you can't see the reflection off of it, 6.375 by 5.25. And then there's some type of informational thing in here for it. So for the Glock 26 here, I'm thinking that this will probably be the bag that will fit it. And so what all I have to do is take this Kydex trigger guard, clips over top of it, and this is how I carry in the fanny pack. It goes right in there. And so to keep this waterproof, or keep it safe from water, my thinking process is to put the Glock 26 in this completely waterproof bag. Hope that it seals. Alright, so alright, so it's, so it's in there. And then I would just obviously stick the bag and gun in the fanny pack, and then be able to go out into the ocean water, swim, have fun, come back out, chill on the beach, go back out in the ocean, go to a pool, go swimming in the pool, go to a water park, go float down the lazy river, whatever, and keep the gun completely dry in this purposely made product that is supposed to keep things dry. Now the limitation with this, so this is great for keeping it dry, right? The limitation with this is this setup is going to require 2 hands. So it would be very difficult to do a one-handed draw with this setup. That is the only limitation, and is really the biggest limitation with it. So there is some negatives to it, and that's the only real negative I can think of, and it is a really big negative as well. The fact that I can only do this two-handed, because it would be very difficult to try to open the fanny pack with one hand, reach down in here, try to open this bag one-handed, and then get the gun out, and then have to worry about trying to pull the clip, the mic, crap, I forgot the name of this, the little Kydex trigger guard off, which I could grip the cord with my mouth and then pull, but that's an option, but it's not really an efficient option. So like I said, the biggest downside to this is I'd have to use both hands. But the biggest win, I guess you could say, is that the gun is going to remain dry, and I'm not going to have to perform maintenance on this gun while on vacation. I'm not going to have to be taking time out of the day to fully disassemble this pistol, completely rinse it of any salt water, dry it, lube it, put it back together, switch out the ammo for new ammo, and on top of that, if I go into the water more than one day, well, that's a whole nother set of rounds that have to go into this gun. And so if there's 3 days of me going into the ocean, well, that's 3 sets of magazines that's going to have to be going into the gun. And that defensive ammo adds up pretty quickly. And so, of course, the workaround for that would be just use cheaper ammo, you know, like practice ammo or whatever. But then you're using practice ammo for life-saving purposes, and that's not what we want. We want life-saving ammo, so it's duty-grade ammo to go in the gun. So it would get really expensive for multiple days being in the water. So this is it. I will go jump in the ocean with this on, and we'll do a video after that point to see how dry this gun is and how good these Loksak products work. All right, so I have been to the beach and tested this stuff out. So my setup for the beach again was taking this fanny pack, and it's not a gun specific fanny pack, it's just a regular fanny pack. I'm not even sure what the brand on it is, because I think I cut the labeling off of it. If I remember correctly, I think it came from Walmart, so it might be like what's that Walmart branded stuff, Ozark or something like that. Anyway, yeah, so it's not a gun fanny pack. It's not meant to hold a gun, and that's partly why I got it, because it doesn't look like a freaking gun carrier. Like when you look at fanny packs that are made to hold a gun, like they look like they hold a gun. And this one doesn't. So use this fanny pack, and then I took just an extra magazine and put it in this pouch here. And then for the Glock 26, use this clip right here over trigger guard, and then had it in the bag in the fanny pack. So in the ocean, I'd say probably at most probably an hour and a half was spent in the water, just wading out in the water and swimming lightly, and then laying on the beach for a little bit, and then going back out in the water. So didn't spend a whole lot of time out in the water, but enough to, I think, put enough movements on all this to get a good feel for it. And so when I got out of the water, we went to the parking lot area. I washed off. They had a little shower thing up there. Got all the extra sand and crap off of me, and then changed clothes. Kept everything in the fanny pack. Had it in the back seat. I went to go eat. Got back to the room and then took everything out. And the gun was completely dry. So I got the fanny pack open, and I dried off the bag itself on the outside to make sure that when I did open it, no water droplets would get inside and confuse me. So I dried it and then opened it, and it was dry. The magazine, on the other hand, when I picked it up, I could tell that there was water inside. And I thought, well, that sucks. One, it failed, and then two, it's a 21 rounder, so had to replace 21 rounds of HST. Was not too happy about that. And I thought, okay. Well, the next day we were going to go to the beach again, and I thought, well, I want to retry this. Maybe what I was doing was wrong. And I remembered that I had done the seal correctly. I was pretty confident I remember doing that. Like, when you do the seal, you're supposed to run your fingers back over the seals a few times to make sure that it is truly locked in. And I was confident that I did that, and so I thought, well, there has to be something going on here to cause it to fail. And I thought that the sloshing around in the bag could have been the issue. So what I did was I filled it with air by blowing into it. Give me a second, do this off camera. All right, so I filled this with air, and you can see I'm putting some pressure on it. Nothing's coming out, right? So I knew that the bag itself was fine. There was nothing wrong with the bag. The seals were working fine. So I thought, well, maybe some pressure had come along on the side. And so when I do this a couple times, and of course when I did it down there, it would do it. Well, it's not wanting to do it now. But having pressure come in from the side would cause the seal to break. There we go. So just that pressure coming in from the side, and you can, boom, the air comes out. So this went in normal, right? And then this had to go in this way. So what I think was happening was, as I was out there in the ocean, this thing right in here was coming apart, or not coming apart, but separating from the other bag, right? And got turned, and then, outside pressure pressed in, and then caused that crinkling effect, which would break the seal. So the next day I decided to put it in this outer pouch, and I put it in the outer pouch, sealed it just the same, put it in the outer pouch, and it was fine after getting back out of the water. It was completely dry. The seal had held, and it worked as advertised, as designed. So I think that the issue or the problem is it being in this main compartment with the other bag, and the movement causing some pressure to come in from the sides and then make it break the seal. Whereas this, it's in there pretty good. It's in there kind of solid. There is not going to be hardly any ability for sideways movement coming into these seals on the big one to make it pop its seal. Whereas this one, because it was probably able to do this a little bit and go this in orientation and then bend and get the seal broken on it. So one thing to think about whenever you're using these things is how will they be moving around inside whatever they're going to be in, whether it be a backpack, a fanny pack, whatever. Are they able to move around a whole lot inside whatever they're going to be in, and what kind of orientation will they be in when they do move around, and can that cause pressure to be coming in from the sides like that and making it crinkle and then break the seal on it. I don't know any other way to prevent that from happening other than to put it in a pouch or a part of a bag that is going to protect the sides from inward pressure doing that. But other than that, these worked. These worked great. I was really excited not to have to burn through a whole box of defensive ammo just to be able to carry on the beach. And I was excited not to have to spend X amount of time fully disassembling the pistol and doing a detailed cleaning on it, because that takes time. And so since I was able to save that time, I was able to spend more time with the family and enjoy a trip versus devoting maybe an hour of taking the freaking gun apart and fully rinsing it with water and drying it and put a protective coat of oil on the pieces, reassemble, take the magazine apart, same thing, and then of course, you know, replace the magazines with expensive carry ammo. So that's it on the Loksak review. I will be using these going forward. Anytime that I need to take a weapon into an aquatic environment in a concealed carry type of manner with a lower threat risk. Now, of course, if I was going in an aquatic environment and the threat risk was higher, they wouldn't be in bags because it takes too long to get stuff out of a bag. I would just suck it up and carry it in a normal holster and just get it wet and then have to go through that cleaning process again. So wherever you're going, whatever is going on, those are the things you have to take into consideration. Is what is your threat risk like, and do you want that trade-off of putting the gun in the bag and keeping it sealed and protected and it taking you a little bit longer to get it out, or do you want the gun to get wet, the ammo to get wet, and you be able to get it out as fast as you would under normal conditions? It's all going to be situational dependent, and as people say, your mileage may vary. But for those who have lower threat risks and want to be able to carry a weapon into an environment where you are half naked and not wearing normal everyday stuff, then this is a pretty viable option, in my opinion, to be able to bring a gun with you into an environment where you traditionally have never been able to bring a gun into because of just the environment itself and its limitations. All right, if you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.